We need to have a serious conversation about AI. Not a conversation where we're blocking people or we're yelling at them or we're avoiding everything, because if avoiding everything was the solution, then none of this stuff would be progressing. Unfortunately, regardless of how we feel on Threads or TikTok or other platform that we're on, AI modules or models or whatever you want to call them are going to persist. We're talking specifically, the first thing that we have to acknowledge is that AI has been used as an umbrella term because there's so many things with artificial intelligence that have nothing to do with a lot of the stuff we've been seeing in the last like couple of years with OpenAI, Midjourney, Suno, all these startups and these companies, these tech companies. Because a lot of the times you'll see people have really intense reactions, and sometimes rightfully so, but instead of trying to see what's going on and engaging in research on what exactly is happening and what we should look out for, is it all boils down to, oh, you're a tech bro, look at these dumb tech bros, oh my god, AI is not art, da 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 da. Like, we see that, we hear that, but now we need to talk about how we fight against it, because making memes and jokes and having these isms on Threads or other platforms is not going to do anything anymore. It didn't do anything in the first place. It's not stopping, because what I witnessed this weekend was insane. What I want to show you is, and I don't want to fearmonger, but it is startling and a little concerning. This past weekend, OpenAI upgraded its AI module or model. I think that's what the correct term is. It's model to the 4.0 model. And its image generator is now capable of replicating very specific types of art styles, most notably Studio Ghibli art style. If you are familiar with Studio Ghibli, you know that they are one of the most renowned studio in the industry. Miyazaki has made some really phenomenal films. I've only seen Ponyo. I've seen bits of Spirited Away. I've seen bits of Princess Mononoke. I've seen bits of Howl's Moving Castle, and everything that I've ever seen from a Hayao Miyazaki film is up to the hype and up to the standard that we have held him up to be, and held his company up to be, his studio up to be. And with that, now there's this new trend where people are turning things into Studio Ghibli styled pieces. The unfortunate thing is that it actually looks pretty serviceable to the point where now when I'm on Threads, I'm seeing people post these memes, or rather these Studio Ghibli version of very famous memes. I've seen also people do Muppet versions of themselves as well for their like Tinder and dating profile apps and whatever. But it's gotten to a point where it's serviceable for the average person to be like, okay, this is cool, I accept this. It's kind of what I hold akin to, and this is not exactly the same, but the way people are using it is kind of like how we used to have those character generators back in the day. It was like, oh, create your own Powerpuff Girl, create your own South Park character. Remember those? Those was all over Facebook for a long time. Now we've gotten to a point where people just go to ChatGPT, type in a prompt if they're good at it, and they can spit out, well, they can just copy paste from somebody else, but they can spit out a Studio Ghibli piece. Is it 100% accurate? No, of course not. Are there errors? Yes, there are errors. But does it look serviceable enough to the average person for them to use for whatever means they deem necessary? Yes, it does. That's the unfortunate thing. And we have to stop saying that it looks like garbage when we're looking at it as people who are purveyors of art, who are purveyors of creativity, and we are also creators of that same work as well, right? We all create something, whether it's sculptures, illustrations, et cetera, et cetera. So we see it in a different lens than the average person does. The same way that if we go to a doctor's office and we see a bunch of medical supplies, to a doctor, those medical supplies are really useful tools. To us, they just look like mundane things like cotton balls and tongue depressors or whatever they're called. So we are seeing this in our bubble. We are in a bubble, and all people are doing are talking at themselves and talking to other people who are just as angry, but they're not making any progress in this conversation and this fight for the sanctity of just art itself. And that sounds dramatic, but when you see what I'm about to show you, when you see the two examples I'm about to show you, you can see why this thing is not going to slow down anytime soon. You will see why the average person, majority of the general population, is going to be using this AI image generator for everyday things, to the point where they probably won't even hit up that one artist for the $20 album cover, which I think is fine. Like, if it takes away the people that are just going to generate nonsense and they just go off and have a blast with that, I think that's fine, because those are the people we don't want. We want people that actually respect and honor the work of artists and the communication and input you can get from that relationship of working with an artist to create something really amazing. I did an experiment and I wanted to see what my stuff that I've done would look like if it were regenerated through this app. This is They Clone Tyrone, the fan art I did a while back. Everybody loves this one. It's very popular. It's one of my most popular fan art pieces. So, not perfect. Not perfect. Not super stellar, because look at what happened to Jamie Foxx back here. I don't know what's going on with this. It also clipped it. I didn't crop it. It did this on its own. So it cut off the top part. You don't really see Jamie Foxx's head. They made Yo-Yo light skin. You know what I mean? The outfit is still pretty accurate-ish. We're not seeing the boots. I drew the boots in my version. We also don't see what's missing. Something else is missing there. I can't tell, but something else is missing. It's just the way I drew it, I think. Actually is more accurate to the character than this, because that looks like a skirt on her side. And then we have Fontaine. Now they changed the position of where he's holding a pew-pew, his weapon of choice. They also made him a little lighter. The hair is pretty close. I don't know why they did this little fringe part here. And then they took away the design of the jacket and just made a regular ass hoodie, because it's a jacket and a hoodie combo. So again, not accurate. It's not 100% accurate. However, this is serviceable. Unfortunately, a lot of people have and will continue to use this. Spyro's tail looks weird. The eyes are a different color. He's looking in a different direction. Crash is no longer holding a hobgoblin. It's now like this blue wampa fruit type thing. The shoe is not in the same position as I drew it or illustrated it. And also it's a different color and it's a little less detailed than the shoe over here on this side, on the left, our left. But overall, again, serviceable. If you're the type of person that's just looking for something really quick to make, and you're putting together a flyer for a show, or you're making a birthday card, or you're making a meme, or whatever the case may be, this works for y'all. This works for those people. And that's what this is going to be reduced to at some point. But I think right now we have to be hyper focused and hyper vigilant about these AI models and the potential for jobs to be lost. And I say that not to be dramatic. I say that not to be hyperbolic. I say that not to be fear mongering. But depending on where you work, depending on what you do, depending on what type of art you make, you may be out of a job if you work at a corporation, because a lot of companies are using these AI models now, whether it's for their intros, whether it's for certain sequences in an action scene, whether it's for a snippet or trailer, teaser, or whatever the case may be. We've all seen it over the last, 2-3 years. And now that it's gotten more advanced, it's being used in spaces that we probably don't even notice because we're not paying that much attention to it. But it's everywhere. It's already seeped into every facet of the entertainment industry, whether it's gaming, whether it's movies, whether it's TV shows, it's there. So what we need to do now, and what we need to really focus on, instead of just being like super angry, foaming at the mouth internet users, I was trying to find like a nice word to say, because I'm just going to say it. Instead of acting like children, like angry children, that's what it feels like a lot of the times when I see people react to it. Like, yes, be angry, but also like, let's do research and figure out who we need to speak to. What policy and lawmakers do we need to be in touch with to get them on board to help out against AI, to prevent people from losing their job? We need protections. in every part of the industry. That's what the voice actors are fighting for right now. They still protesting. They still on strike because what happened was a lot of these studios put them or try to put them in contracts where their likeness can be digitized and used in perpetuity without the need of that actual person being there. They used recently, Sony used what's her name? Ashley Birch. Ashley Birch, she voices Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn or the Horizon series on PlayStation. And there was a demo they put out where they used AI to replicate Ashley Birch's voice to be this AI Aloy. Now, they said they're not going to be using it for the game. It was just a test to see some other things that are going to be going down the pipeline, whatever the case may be. But we all know what that means. They're going to use it in some way. And I know that a lot of games have been using it on the low without some of us noticing. Talking in circles is not going to do nothing. We really got to meet the people where they at and let them know, like, yo, I understand that you like this thing, but what you're doing is actually causing, some harm to the art world, to the art industry. Talk to your family members. The same person that's probably sending you memes right now, some silly little cat memes. It's the same person that's about to send you some AI generated cat memes. You got to talk to the policymakers. You got to talk to the lawmakers. We got to get some actual movement going outside of these social media bubbles. Is going to come from different directions, and we will need to take a multiple pronged approach to it. But what I'm seeing online is not helping. It's just people talking in circles. So we really need to, because even I'm still learning too. That's why I don't say much about AI, because I'm still learning and I'm figuring out all right, what's next steps? A lot of people I've seen online complaining about it, they just wasting their breath because it's not stopping. Just because you block that one person doesn't mean it's going to stop it from happening. Doesn't mean it's not going to come for you eventually, or somebody It's not slowing down. It's very serviceable with the chat GPT 4.0, with Sora, the video AI thing. They're still actively working on that. Midjourney's still around. Suno Music is around. What's the other one? There's another one. DALL-E, right? That's another image generator that's around that's very popular. And there's so many more now. There's so many more. AI has its place, Morgan was saying. It can be used for a lot of things to help with workflow. So it's a lot harder to push back on now. It will likely take a major corporation to push back, as well as people actually giving a legitimate push against it. It really needs more serious regulation, if nothing else. Exactly. Because we're not getting rid of it. No matter how hard we want to click our heels together and speak affirmations out, it's not just going to disappear. At this point, all we can hope for is actually good regulation. That's all we can hope for, is some actual good regulation, because otherwise it's going to be wild, wild west. Right now, we're at the beginning stages of it. Right now, we are at the cusp of what's to come. So I would highly advise everybody that is watching this currently, or in the video, or in the VOD, wherever I end up putting this, get into something else besides art. Get into something else besides art. Learn another practical skill. Get into podcasting. Start teaching something. Do something else in addition to your art. I'm telling you right now, especially if you work at a company. Independence may be fine to a degree. I'm more worried about the people that work at corporations and companies, graphic design firms, animation studios, et cetera, because those will be the first people to go. Automation has always been the enemy of the working class. But basically, this guy was working for a design firm, and he was one of the top designers there. He was making buku dollars on that, right? He was solid. He was good. Had a great career. Couldn't be happier. Always upward mobility, all that good stuff. He was on a fast track to being number one, for real. And then the AI stuff came out and he got fired. And when he learned that he got fired, he also learned that the company input all of his work into the algorithm, or however it works, because I still don't know exactly what is happening. And that's what the whole knowledge part and reading is supposed to be about. But they put all his work inside the machine. And now the machine does stuff that looks serviceable to the higher ups in the suits. So they let him go. So at this point, find some other outlets, find another job, find something else to help circumvent what may be a very bad time, for lack of a better term, a very bad time for professional artists, especially those in the digital space. The sculptors, the painters, the dancers, All them other people that do more hands-on tactile things, I think they will be fine for a while. But for everybody else, you think your job at Nickelodeon and Netflix or HBO or whatever is cushy and safe right now? Wait till them people find some prompt engineers. Wait till them people find a prompt engineer that is going to take half the pay. So yeah, that's all I gotta say is when it comes to this conversation about AI, don't run, don't block, don't ignore. You don't have to engage with someone that is posting pro AI things, but it would be helpful, it would behoove you to do some research and learn what exactly is going on. So when we are ready to make our movement and push back, because I don't feel like anybody's talking about this. I don't feel like anybody's pushing this back. I don't feel like anybody's really like giving a crap right now because it's not affecting everything that we do as artists is important. But we all know that the society that we live in does not also feel the same way. They do not feel the same way. So until it truly affects like the bigger population of people out there, we're not going to see a huge like public mainstream push until it affects like something really like integral to the world or something. You know what I mean? Not to say that movies and art and TV and video games aren't important to the world because they're a billion-dollar industry. But what I implore you to do is research, read, and observe. Take your time. Like, don't react. Because a lot of these people are also just looking to piss you off. Some of these people that are doing the AI generations, they're just doing it because they know that's going to rile you up, and that just made their day. So don't be that victim. Don't fall for it. Don't fall into it. Again, you don't have to engage with nobody, but ignoring and blocking is not going to stop it from existing outside in the world. Get out your bubble, read, research, contact policymakers, lawmakers. Something has to happen. Again, I'm still learning and looking up things too. At this point, something has to be done because now we are seeing things that are not like 6-finger monstrosities no more. So please do your due diligence. We got to work together on this.